Hello, darling hearts. It's Gaps Coach Emma here. I was taking a walk this afternoon, and I was reminded of something that happened when I was about 7, or maybe 8. We were on a pedalo on Lake Geneva in Switzerland, and we were really far from the shore. And my mum and dad were pedaling, and me and my brother were swimming, but we were miles away from the shore. And I needed a shit. I was like, Mum, I really need to go. And she was like, well, just go, babe. You're in a lake. Don't worry about it. Just go. And I was like, I went around the other side of the pedalo. Oh no, chat, Bibby. Yeah. The postman's at the door, baby. Sorry, I'm in the middle of a live. Anyway, I'm talking about really taking a shit in Lake Geneva. Anyway, it floated, right? And I was so embarrassed that my shit was visible, basically. I was so embarrassed. It was like excruciatingly embarrassing. It's stuck in my mind because my brother constantly takes a piss about it and reminds me of it when we have a laugh. I was little. I was stuck. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, what's interesting, what I've learned now is if doo-doos are very pale in colour, not very well formed, and they float in the loo. Do you inspect the royal doo-doo? We're all supposed to be sovereign, taking responsibility for our health. If you're taking responsibility for your health, you need to be looking and examining the royal doo-doo, right? So you need to turn around and have a look and see what's in the pan. So if it's pale coloured and it floats, chances are, well, there's two things. It could be oxalates dumping out, or it could be that your fat is malabsorbed. Now, if your fat is getting malabsorbed, that means your vitamins and your vitamins are not going to be well absorbed either, because most vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, are fat soluble, right? So if you're not absorbing your fats, you ain't going to be absorbing your vitamins either. So it's a message from the body, and it's like, okay, I need to do something about this. So yeah, we can do something about that on GAPS, and we are very high fat on GAPS. So if you're not absorbing your fats, it's like we've got to do something about it. And there's certain things we can start to do. But it's a bit like when you're mixing oil and vinegar, the fats, you need to balance them out with some acids like lemon juice, like cider vinegar. Yeah, like that kind of thing. It balances it out, I was happy to have done a shit in Lake Geneva because I don't like Geneva particularly. I don't like this white cross, this red cross. Well, that's the English one, and then the Swiss one is the opposite. It's a white cross on a red background, isn't it? No, then there's the Red Cross that are the people who go and save people, supposedly. I'm highly dubious, actually. It's like they put up a front saying, we're going to help you, and then actually they're doing precisely the opposite. I saw a really interesting example of that the other day. What was it now? It was on Observation Deck, which is an interesting YouTube channel, Observation Deck. Go and check him out. And he was looking at the most recent legislation about clamping down on people who want to protest, and basically saying police can. This new legislation says basically the police can stop you whenever they like, for whatever they like, even without any suspicion, and they can actually tag you, as in put a little ankle bracelet on you that lets everyone know where you are at all times, and you can't leave the country. You won't be able to leave your 15-minute city or whatever. You won't be able to operate. Can you hear my daughter blowing her nose in the background? It's very distracting. Anyway, these ankle tags, they don't have to ask to put them on. You don't get a trial by jury or anything. They're just like, we're suspicious of you. We're going to put an ankle bracelet on you so we know where you are. So Robert in Observation Deck observed, it's an excellent little YouTube channel, you should go and check him out, that that's the legislation, and the UN has been in uproar about it. The UN has written a letter saying these draconian, I can't remember what they wrote, I'm making this bit up, but they wrote something like, you can't do that. You've already got quite stringent laws. What, you want extra laws so that you can just put tag ankle bracelets on people willy-nilly whenever you like. You know, that's a bit extreme, and you should rein it in, you know, because the UN are all about human rights, right? Wrong. It's like a false flag. The UN are going, I don't think the UK should be doing that. So people, you know, people look at the UN and go, yeah, you're right. And I trust you, UN. You know, the United Nations. I don't trust them as far as I can spit. They're all part of the same bunch. The ones who have the red cross or the white cross on the red background, or the red cross on the white background. It's all the same bunch. You know, for us, it's a symbol of St. George. And I mean, I'm proud to be from this land. You know, proud. Pride comes before a fall. I feel like I am an Englander, an Angleterre, somebody who comes from the land of the Angles. Now, the Angles are actually astrological alignments, and I don't mean the tropical zodiac, I mean a sidereal. Okay, so that's the real one, and that's the one that the Dark Masters are working to. If you want to pay attention to that, go and look at Stellarium, which is an online thing. You can check out where the stars are at any given time. Stellarium, yeah. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, I'm happy to have done a shit in Lake Geneva and fed the bottom feeders. You know, what makes Geneva, you know, the Swiss so special that they can say, we're neutral. We're going to host all the banks and make sure the money stays safe. We're neutral. We're not going to get involved in the wars because we're neutral. I think everyone should be neutral, shouldn't they? Don't trust the symbolism of the Red Cross, the White Cross, and you know. Did you know? This is what blew me away. That Saint George, who's our patron saint of this land, he's not a good un. You know, he supposedly slayed the dragon and all that jazz, but I don't think he's a good un. Saint George is an anagram of segregation. Interesting, isn't it? Anyway. Let's look to our bodies to give us the messages to let us know if we're on the right track or not. My gut feeling tells me that bunch are a bunch of no good losers. Right, we need to just turn our back on them and start taking responsibility for ourselves and being sovereign. So being sovereign means you make the choices and you get the messages and you decide with your gut whether you're going to move forward with something or not. And I hope you'll resonate with me when I say that gut healing is all about the food as the medicine. And I have an amazing online cookery school, and I'm inviting you to join Timeless Cookery Club so that you can work with other modalities as well as the food as the medicine, but get down to the root of the matter and actually be able to stand up strong, you know, and stand on your rights and know what's what and find the alternatives to the mainstream, because most of the mainstream is a bunch of rubbish. Anyway, I hope you have been amused by my story of doing doo-doos in Lake Geneva and floaters. And, you know, ask yourself, you know, how's my doo-doo? Is it well-shaped? It's supposed to be like a snake kind of thing. And it's supposed to be like one of those plastic dog poos with a little Mr. Whippy on top. That's an ideal poo, according to someone. I don't know. And we're not supposed to need to wipe either, because our mucosal membranes are supposed to be, you know, lubricated enough that it just pops out, you know. But that's not the case. Most people is mushy, or it's like little rabbit droppings or bigger rabbit droppings, which is constipated, you know. I mean, if you're going to be one way or the other, I think being loose is better than being constipated, because if you're constipated, the stuff is staying there, which means it's just constantly recycling all the rubbish in your system. So, I mean, there's lots of ways. I'm glad I'm making you laugh. There's lots of ways we can get out the shit, you know, safely and in a way that cleanses you and actually lifts your state of mind and gets you in a much clearer state of mind, so that you can actually use your wit and your brain to focus on that which you would see come true, not to focus on the weapons of mass distraction, which they're trying to go, look over here, you know, it's very interesting the way they harness our attention and get us to think about things, and then those things happen. It's like, isn't anyone putting two and two together? You know, we need to ignore them and get on with imagining our own perfect outcomes, right? And I can help you with that. Anyway, darling hearts, and lots of love to you. See me at timelesscookery.com and help me keep a roof over my head. We're going to have a fantastic summer. I've still got some places on retreat in August if you're interested. Come on retreat in August in Normandy and swim in the sea and eat kilos of cultured cream, and I'll cook for you for the whole week, and we can chew the cud and put the world to rights. Okay, my loves, lots of love. See you soon. Bye.